Hello, this is Rohan, and yeah, we're gonna be starting a new playthrough, Pokemon White 2. Oh, I got a history of this game, alright? So yeah, there's a lot of games I had to thank for, making this game the special experience, two experience that it was. There's obviously Pokemon Heart Gold, the game that got me into the Pokemon series, after my brother deleted one of my save files and then gave me my training team to use that game. Then after that, I would come to love Pokemon White, the game that came before this. So now I was pretty stoked about what could come in the future. But then there's also another game that was probably quite important to you, Maple Seed Hot Pursuit. I talked about that game quite a bit, but it was the first game I would follow the release of. And Pokemon Black White 2 would be the second. So yeah, I was watching some Japanese playthroughs of this game back in the day. And yeah, I was hyped. I really wanted to play this game. The new Pokemon that they add to the decks just really intrigued me. I wanted to have so much fun using them, so yeah. And then of course, yeah, there's obviously the other new things that they add. And yeah, when I did get to play it, I really enjoyed it. And then over time, it just kept getting better and better and better. I crowned this as probably my favorite game in the series, so yeah. It's a game that, yeah, I think another thing too is that, yeah, it probably came at a pretty good time in my life when I was, slowly transitioning from a kid to a teenager, so yeah. And there's a few stories that relate to that as well, so yeah. Alrighty. Shall we get started then? Alrighty, let's just go into it. A new game. Hi there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Juniper. Everyone calls you the Pokemon Professor. And she's a Shinshino now. That's right, this world is widely inhabited by mysterious creatures called Pokemon. Pokemon have mysterious powers. They come in many shapes and live in many different places. We humans live happily with Pokemon. Living and working together, we complement each other. We help each other out to accomplish difficult tasks. High Pokemon battle one another is particularly popular, and it deepens the bonds between people and Pokemon. And that is why I research Pokemon. Well, that's enough from me. Could you tell me about yourself? Girl, yeah, so pretty much everyone loves the female protagonist of this game, which makes a lot of sense. The design's really good. Pokemon Masters also made it very popular too, because I think she was like a free person you could get. So a lot of free-to-play players really liked her. But actually, yeah, we're going with the boy because, well, it makes sense with longer to name them. And yeah, I associate this game a lot with the male protagonist because, again, I'm very nostalgic for my first playthroughs, so yeah. We're calling him Rohan, obviously, just like I did with Heart Gold and Fire Red. Which yeah, I think is fitting because, again, it's like, yeah, Fire Red was the first game that got me into this series, Heart Gold was the game that made me love the series, and then White 2 is my favorite game in the series, so yeah. But there will be a Black 2 playthrough on the side of the seat, just like it did in my Black and White playthrough. I think it's like 1 or 2 years ago at this point. So yeah, I think it's like one of the first playthroughs I did with my new headset as well, so yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so there'll be a Black 2 playthrough going along, so yeah. So yeah, your name is Rohan? Yeah, so your name is Rohan, what a wonderful name. Can you tell me a little about your friend, the older boy who lives nearby? Would you mind telling me his name? Alright. I got something for this. We're gonna be calling him, Bolt. Oh, did I get that right? Yeah. Rohan, I'm gonna trust you with a Pokemon. I'm sure you'll be great partners. The moment you choose the Pokemon that will accompany you on your journey, your story will truly begin. During your journey, you'll meet many Pokemon and people with different personalities and points of view. I really hope you learn what is important to you as a result of your travels. That's right, befriend new people and Pokemon and grow as a person. That's the most important goal of your journey. Let's go visit the world of Pokemon. And yet, Summer, this opening is really special. With the music in the background and the scenery too. Yeah, it takes you back a little bit. It took a while to get to this point. Again, I really wanted to be in the right mindset, and also wanted to make sure that, yeah, this playthrough could be the best it possibly can be. I think, yeah, now is a pretty good time. I could definitely wait a little bit longer considering emulation shenanigans, which we'll be talking about later, but yeah. Still, I think this is a pretty good time to do it, especially with, you know, me basically, you know, coming back in a big way after the Tokyo Extremista playthrough. But anyway, Mom is a phone call. Oh, hi. Why, Ori and Juniper? It's been far too long. What can I do for you? Wow, a Podex for my child? Why, that's great. I think a journey would be a wonderful experience. What now? She's already here? Oh, for Pete's sake, you never change. Once you decide on something, you just start going. Okay, Bianca, right? A big green hat. Got it. Okay, no worries. Alrighty. Right, I'm home. Alrighty, so yeah, before we do get started, let's look at our options. So yeah, not confirm them. I'm not happy with them just yet. We want Taxi fast, although there's actually some points of the game we want it slow. I'll talk about that later. Battle scene on, so you can see animations. Battle style set. I've basically always been playing set for a long time now. Stereo mono, and Saber Full using the Seeker's infrared, which is actually how I traded a lot with my brother back in the day, so yeah. You can save the game obviously, which is not a bad idea. Coming up. I mean, actually, it's not a bad idea to do now just to see if, you know, everything's working. There you go, perfect. Look at our trainer card. So yeah, you can change who you are. So yeah, I'm I guess I would be an Ace trainer, right? I believe that changes what you look like. I think that what changes what you look like in the Wi-Fi stuff. So yeah. And yeah, as for my nature, these are actually Pokemon natures as well, so yeah. I guess I'll go with plus speed, minus special attack. You can also write a message. Which yeah, you have quite a few options there, so I'm not sure what to say there. So I won't worry about that now. And if you turn it around, you can doodle something there, and it gives you some info here as well. So yeah, there's that. And then, yeah, if you go around again, you can also check this. That's the badge case, so yeah. So you can see how we're doing in terms of progression, basically. And then we got back, which has nothing inside it, so yeah. I mean, except for the extra series and the PAL pad, so yeah. Alrighty. Let's just get going now. I think we kept Mom waiting for a little while, so yeah. You didn't realize that Juniper, she's a famous Pokemon researcher. Actually, she's an old friend of mine, and she called me today for the first time in ages. This is out of the blue, but Rohan, do you want to have a Pokemon? Yeah. Okay, step 1 complete. Well done, do you know what a Pokedex is? Yeah. I knew you would. Isn't it amazing how it automatically records Pokemon you encounter? Yeah, another question. You want a Pokedex, right? Yeah. Okay, step 2 complete. Run. Your course of action has been set. A girl named Bianca's come to here to meet you. She is Professor Juniper's assistant. I was told to simply look for a big green hat. That's right, you're gonna look for Bianca. And then you'll get a Pokédex and a Pokemon to be your partner. Oh, yeah, she's using it back, right? Do you know how to open it back? Yeah, we're just doing that. The girl's name is Bianca. I was told you should look for a big green hat. She might be lost because this is our first time here. Go look for her. Will do. Do you have anything else to say? Yeah, doesn't look like it. So you've got our room here. It's only one floor, but hey. You also got a Wii console. Obviously, I have one of those. You can also, oh yeah, the TVs of this game. Who's the living? So we're gonna be learning about low sleep here, and we got Dr. Technique Al Machine. I think this talks mainly about TM moves. So yeah, those are simple wall moves. So kick to lower part of the target's legs. It can also be handy every day. Like, just imagine a lady wearing a short skirt and she has to kick someone. She uses this without causing any embarrassment to herself. That's not a joke I was expecting to see in a Pokemon game, but anyway. You can't keep watching it. You also get to watch that show, which is awesome. You're gonna talk about the leftovers. What you watching? You know about the leftovers? Chat! I always clean my plate, so don't spill it. Okay, well, I'll say it anyway. When a Pokemon's throwing leftovers, a small fraction of CHE is healed every turn. Is that neat? Oh, that thing on the floor there, could it be? Chat! Hey, why are you picking that up? Pokemon World Tournament. Winning is everything. Win all the tournaments. You can do it, right? So there's even advertising too. So yeah. And you've got some like keepsakes here. It's a more of a first film Monboas soon, yeah. And then a Darumaka Pokemon doll, Morricine Pass. You get knocked down, just get up again. Yeah. Alright, let's head out. Let's go get that Pokédex and that first Pokemon. Now we can also talk to people too. The power of science is amazing. Now I can use communication to play with 100 people at the same time. Yeah, until you know Pokemon Wi-Fi, well, until Wi-Fi went down, but that's okay. You know, Rohan, gonna have Bolt brag to you about his Pokemon again today. But yeah, there's also like custom servers though, so yeah, you can take advantage of those. I think they even work on emulators too, by the way. Yeah, Pokemon, you can even walk outside now. So yeah, it's very important that we also get a Pokemon, so yeah. Let's keep talking. Wanna have a Pokemon battle soon? Getting a Pokemon to do that, obviously. What kind of relationship do you want with the Pokemon you meet? I'm happy just having them by my side. Alrighty. So let's set them down. Probably, yeah, I'll talk more about this game too when we are getting into the thick of the gameplay, but yeah, for right now, yeah, let's just soak in the atmosphere of Aspertia City. Hi, Rohan. Hey, you got a Pokemon yet? There aren't any Pokemon trainers around here, and I'm getting bored. What's that? The person named Bianca's giving you a Pokemon? Really? Ran, if you get a Pokemon, take really, really good care of it, okay? Yeah. Okay, let's go get your Pokemon. There's something I have to do. And to do that, I need someone I can trust besides my partner Pokemon. A person I can trust. That's right, I'm talking about you. You seem like you've got good instincts. You head on home. Okay, big brother. Bye-bye, Rohan. Alright, let's go find that person named Bianca. And yeah, we're gonna be talking with our friend here. Let's go. But yeah, Hugh, as he's normally known as, yeah, he's a very interesting fellow. One that I'm, yeah, very interested in. Someday you'll both go on a journey with your Pokemon too. It's too bad, yeah, Pokemon with you, so you could compete with Bond and see who's the better trainer. It's interesting if you just headed to his house like this, by the way. Does he have anything to say about that? Still, you're really lucky you got a Pokemon. And yeah, here's Bolt's little sister. Brandy, you find that lady called Bianca? I hope you get a Pokemon soon. Yeah, everyone's very excited about that, so yeah. Yeah, this is Bolt's house, by the way, so yeah. Yeah, again, I already know, obviously, his character arc, and yeah, I'm liking that they are already planting the seeds for it, so yeah. That's really good at getting Pokemon to rest and making them feel better. I wish the training school would hurry up and open. There's so much about Pokemon I want to know, so I'm guessing Rockman. The training school is just finished. No one's allowed inside until a teacher or best gym leader starts working there. So apparently it doesn't actually have a gym leader. Interesting. course, yeah, that's also going to be changing later. But yeah, Burst Town actually has a gym, which doesn't normally happen in Pokemon games. The view of Route 19 for the Outlook is Suspicious City's pride and joy. Trainers are the ones who have the Pokemon Pass battle. I hear trainers are really strong trainers. Yep. Then you go to the Pokemon Center. Wait, I was just at the Pokemon Center and there wasn't anyone like that there. So we can't go in yet. Makes sense because they're going to be getting the tutorial for that later. You'll go on journeys to become adults. Maybe I should leave the city too. And here we got another house, which I got these pretty chill to go in. Central City's in the corner of the universe, so this isn't exactly the big leagues for Pokemon battling. You go to the center of Unova, there are many Pokemon trainers you can battle. So yeah, we're on the outskirts, it seems. I'm battling my Pokemon, so it's still weak. It's yapping. See what we got here? I wonder if there's a Pokemon that was dropped on the... I wonder if there's a Pokemon that was dropped on the ground somewhere. That'd be a bit weird. My flaky fortune teller says that you're me a Pokemon. I guess they're correct, because we're about to, if we can find this green-headed person, so yeah. Alrighty. Guess we can't go up, but we can talk to you. Sometimes while Pokemon attack people, but the ones you befriend, the ones that stay by your side are Pokemon too. So also can't go here. That goes to Route 19. If we don't find Bianca here, I'll go check it for you, because I already have Pokemon. Yeah. You're obviously bragging about that. So let's just say outlook ahead. Unova unfolds for your eyes. Yeah, it's a very good view, so yeah, it's gonna be fun to talk about. Or just look at. Oh, I get it. The outlook is such as Purchase City's most famous spot. I'll bet Bianca's had to look at the scenery. Come on, go get your Pokemon ready. And here she is. It's so pretty. Hey there, don't you agree? Oh, my name's Bianca. I'm the assistant of the Pokemon Professor, Professor Juniper. By the way, I'm looking for someone. Do you know a person named Rohan? Yeah, the me. Oh wait, you're Rohan. Wow, you're exactly like what I heard. Nice to meet you. I have a really important request to ask you. Will you help us complete the Pokedex? Yeah. Oh wow, thanks. It's full to help Professor Juniper's research move forward. And further, the Pokedex is totally fun. Alrighty, so yeah, I believe we gotta save now. Yes, yeah, we're about to get started. And of course, yeah, if you want to get a good nature on it, yeah, you probably want to save through though. But anyway, okay then. Ta-da! And here's the Pokemon that will be your partner. Yeah, she's great at this game. Can't wait to talk more about her. But anyway, the starters, the same as in Black or White. We got Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking about Pokemon a bit more succinctly, but maybe with the starters, I'll be, give them a good amount of detail because yeah, you're gonna want to probably use all of them, or one of each. I should be saying. Maybe Snivy. I should mention, yeah, Snivy is the grass type starter, and unfortunately, being a grass type starter is not a good thing because bad gym leader matchups basically. A similar problem to what Chikorita has in the Judo games. Yeah, basically the first half of gym leaders are quite bad for a grass type because they normally use types that are good against grass, and grass can't do damage back. It gets a bit better in the second half, but there's still like two gyms that Snivy can't do too well in, so yeah. So yeah, this is definitely the hard choice when it comes to starter. So yeah, you probably want to make sure you catch a good team member to complement Snivy. But outside of that though, Snivy is a very interesting Pokemon. When it's fully evolved into Superior, it has really good defenses and a really good speed start. So it wants to go first and set up basically. And luckily it gets a lot of good moves to do that with. Mainly Leech Seed, Coil, Growth, stuff like that. And yeah, TNs it gets even better, although we don't have Calm Mind in the main story, so remember that. Ekmoons we don't have access to in the main story either, so we're not going to be talking about them. And of course there's one of the big new additions, the Mood Tutors. Yeah, there's quite a lot of new Mood Tutor moves for these Unova Pokemon. and all the Pokemon gain access to these moves again, basically. It's always a really nice thing when it comes to these second games in in the generation, so yeah. And yeah, Snivy does get some pretty good moves, especially when it's fully evolved. Not like so many moves, but there's definitely some nice ones. Mainly Aqua Tail comes to mind. So yeah, again, Superior again, probably a hard choice, but again, might not be such a hard choice if you have the right Pokemon to complement it, obviously. So yeah, and there's some pretty good ones, some pretty overpowered choices to do that with, shall we say? So yeah. And yeah, you saw how decent Superior can be too in my Black playthrough as well. They did a pretty good job on that playthrough, so yeah. But anyway, let's talk about the easy choice, Tepic. So, the great thing about Tepic, I mean, people don't like this about Tepic, but this line becomes a Fire Fighting type, which means that in 4 games in a row, the Fire type starter becomes a Fire Fighting type, which, yeah. Luckily, they would break that trend in the next game, but yeah, that's actually a good thing, because we want to Fire type for the next gym. The first gym, I should be saying. You don't need to get picked type before that gym, but if you do, it's a pretty easy win. It's probably one of the easiest ways to win that gym, other than catching a pretty overpowered Pokemon, shall we say, so yeah. But anyway, then after that, Fire is just really decent for the next 2 gyms after that, and then after that, the Fire Fighting type doesn't really help too much. In fact, yeah, for the last couple of gyms, you're gonna struggle. By that point, you should have a pretty well-rounded team. So yeah, so that's kind of why Tepic is considered a good choice. It gets you going really quickly, and it also learns its strong move a bit earlier too, at level 15. Snivy needs to get to 16 for Leaf Tornado, and then Oshawott needs level 17 to get Razor Shell. So yeah. But Tepic gets Lane Charge at 15, so yeah, once again, contributes to a very fast start. And then yeah, after that, yeah, some decent moves will level up, both on the physical and special side, and then a pretty good TM and move to the list too, with lots of coverage on, again, both sides, so yeah. And of course, yeah, really good attacking stats, a bit slow, not the best at taking hits, but it does have decent HP stats, so yeah, at 110. So yeah, I think, yeah, just like in Black White, I do think that, yeah, Tepic might be the best starter. I feel like, yeah, early on especially, so yeah. And the Fire type competition, there's definitely some good Fire type competition, but yeah, you're not getting another Fire type, so that definitely makes Tepic stand in that regard, so yeah. Again, I see this as the most popular choice by most players, but anyway. Let's talk about the middle of the road option, shall we say, Oshawott. So yeah, Oshawott, once again, all reliable, pure water type. Water type's obviously good for being, you know, just really solid overall. Good defensive profile, good against a good amount of types. And yeah, Oshawott and its line kind of fits the bill, so yeah. Again, starts off pretty decent, gets that Razor Shell, obviously, which is the best of the moves that they get, the evolution. It's the most powerful, but of course comes up the latest. And out of that, yeah, it just keeps, you know, getting better with stuff like, you know, Water Pulse, even Aqua Jet for priority, so yeah. And yeah, even Aqua Tail Swords into Hydro Pump at the end. And yeah, DMS is alright. Not as good as Emvor in my opinion, but not bad. There's some decent coverage there. And yeah, move tiers aren't too bad either, but again, I do think that Emvor gets you more cooler moves than that, so yeah. And of course, stat-wise, again, Samurash's just a very solid Pokemon. Good attacking stats, both in the hundreds, and then some decent defenses and a decent speed stat. Again, I do think that, yeah, this is the well-rounded option. A Pokemon that can both do good damage, but also take a hit in a pinch. Unlike, you know, Slivy, who's a hit taker, and Tepic, who's all about damage, so yeah. So yeah, who am I gonna pick? So obviously in the Black and White playthrough, I picked Tepic. So... And then yeah, obviously Slivy in the Black playthrough, so in the side. So yeah, it's really between Oshawott and Snivy, but I picked Slivy in the Black 2 playthrough, so yeah, you know what that means. We're picking Oshawott. So yeah. And yeah, one of the main reasons why is because, yeah, Oshawott is my favorite starter out of the 3. Again, I always have an affinity for water type stars, so it makes a lot of sense. But anyway. Oh wow, you and Oshawott, perfect match. By the way, if you like a nickname to Pokemon shows, So yeah, once again, like I usually do in these playthroughs, I'm gonna let the viewers view these name these Pokemon. You can't actually name them again until the third, the town with the third gym, basically. That's okay. That'll give us a good amount of time to get a good sample of nicknames for these. So yeah. But anyway, so we're gonna be calling out Oshwa. Okay, gotcha. You're not giving it a nickname. Now you got your Pokemon, so I'll give you this too, a Pokedex. And of course you get the Pokedex. I know what it does. The Pokedex is a high-tech device that automatically records the Pokemon encounter. So eventually, once you carry this Pokedex, there's a lot of places that meet all the Pokemon in the Unova region. Alrighty, let's look at Oshaw's nature, and then we'll make a decision. Well, Lonely Nature is a pretty good one, so yeah. I think we're going to be going with this then. The stats don't look too bad either, to be honest. Like, yeah, 12 attack and 12 special attack, so yeah. I do want to use this moves on this Oshwa. Too bad it's not a special attack raising nature. I would like that a lot, but that's okay. And yeah, I think another thing I appreciate too is that yeah, they gave all the starter Pokemon and all their evolution stages new animations in Black White 2. So now Oshwa, he takes his scallop shell and then, you know, does a pose with it. So yeah. They're pretty cool looking, I must admit, and I think I do associate them with these Pokemon, so yeah. So with that, we go with the Oshwa. Alright, let's save the game again, because we're about to have a battle. That might be a little tricky, shall we say, so yeah. But Lonely Nature, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, I'll take the extra attack. Hey, how long are you planning on keeping waiting anyway? Hey, what's that? So that's your partner, huh? That's great. My sister already said it, but take really, really good care of your Pokemon, got it? What's that you're holding though? It's a Pokedex. Please give me a Pokedex too. I want to get stronger. If I have a Pokedex, I can learn more about Pokemon. That'll make me tougher, right? Who are you again? I'm Bolt. I'm gonna trial the Unova region my Pokemon partner in order to search for something very important. Okay. Well, okay. I don't really get it, but going on a journey is always good. Anyway, I just happen to have another Pokedex on me. It looks like Pokemon distribution has really changed compared to 2 years ago, so the more the merrier. Alrighty. Well, I thought it was something cool. You both have Pokemon, right? Why don't you have a Pokemon battle? Let's do it. Let's see how good of a trainer you are. I'll use my style that raised from an egg. And of course he has the starter that's good against yours, so yeah. Let's do this. Let's see what Oshwa can do in his first battle. So we got Snivy here. And Snivy is level 6, which you might be wondering, wait, what? Why is it level 6? Well, we're playing on Challenge Road, which I might have mentioned either in the playlist or it's going to be in the title of this video. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. So the thing about Challenge Road setting it up is that on a fresh save file, unless you have a Black 2 save file that's completed, which I don't because I wanted to practice before playing this. Yeah, the only way to actually get Challenge Road is cheat. So that's what I did. So yeah. So this is not great because if he attacks you again, that's probably it. So yeah. We got the crits, there we go. I'll talk a bit more about Challenge Road because the thing about it is that despite the name, it's actually not harder than normal mode. I'm kind of playing it for the remix factor because yeah. That's actually why I like it. I could achieve victory by partner. I want to stop and get this frustration. And yeah, we get 2 levels there. I lost. This is different than battling with wild Pokemon. Well, whatever. I'm just happy to know you're a trainer I can count on. Cool, I'm hanging up first. Get stronger. Pokemon both sides did their best, but this little one is still weak, so battle with it and make it strong. Alright, let's go make a Pokemon better at the Pokemon Center. It's like the best place ever for Pokemon who battle and get hurt. Pokemon Center is the same no matter where you are. Let's go inside. Okay, I'll show you around the Pokemon Center. Oh, it heals Pokemon for free. You should bring your Pokemon here anytime they're weak. I'll heal your Pokemon. Hand me your Pokeball for a second. There we go. Next, I'll explain the PC. This square thing is a PC. Any trainer is free to use it. You can deposit Pokemon in it, or seek a ritual Pokemon from it. The next thing is over there. It's the Pokemon. Here you can buy and sell many different items. The Pokeballs you use to catch Pokemon could also be bought the Pokemon. Here, I'll give you some Pokeballs. There actually has 10 of them, which is really nice. Next up, I'll show you how to use these Pokeballs. Follow me. Alrighty, I'll talk a little bit about Challenge Road while we're here because I mentioned it. So yeah, so the thing about Challenge Road is that it raises the levels of the enemy Pokemon, but the thing is though, it actually doesn't change the stats though because they didn't code it very well. So yeah, so that means actually it could be easier because you gain more EXP. But again, I like the remix factor because it does change up some important battles. Not many, but again, I find that kind of interesting. And again, in my practice playthrough that I did before this, I actually had a lot of fun playing Challenge Road. So yeah, why not? We'll do it. Again, I might make this game a little bit easy by accident because of that, but that's okay. And yeah, there's also an easy mode. It actually lowers the enemy Pokemon levels, but they still have the same stats. But you still get the same EXP though. In this one, for some reason, even though the higher level, you actually gain more EXP, so that's interesting. So yeah, there's definitely some other quirks to it, but again, like I said, I do like the remix factor of it. So again, that's kind of why I want to try it out. And of course, you can always change back. But anyway, but yeah, like I said though, I don't like the fact that again, you basically have to have a complete Black 2 save file and then transfer the key over to actually play it without using a cheat code like I did. So yeah. Alright, here's my advice for guys since all of this time for Winsons. If Owen's HG goes down, make sure to restore it. I'll talk to that person last because he's kind of interesting. Oh yeah, Oshawott, it's nature's lonely. For Pokemon like that by your side, I'm sure you have a fun journey. Alright. So, what we got here? So, we got Pokeballs and Potions. One thing I can recommend though, even though we got 10, is that I'm going to be catching a lot of Pokemon coming out, so let's get more Pokeballs and get Premier Ball by buying 10. And then over here, we got Mail, which you can touch your Pokemon and like give your friends messages. But anyway, this person though is quite interesting, so yeah, let me take a sip, and then we're going to be talking about him. Alright, let's talk to him. Oh, you get a flashback to some events in Black 5-1. I didn't actually get to see, so yeah. Thank you, my friend. Return the peaceful life you lived for. Well done, why you release your Pokemon? Come on, I just can't keep Pokemon confined to Pokeballs. Also, they stay with their trains, Pokemon battle, and they'll be hurt. Even if it's will change the world to protect Pokemon, it's too hard for me to put them through such pain. But, ever since we were young, we caught Pokemon and made them battle. That's just how the world works, isn't it? You decide to catch Pokemon and make them battle each other is how the world works. That wasn't how things were before Pokeballs were invented. The rules that govern this world are wrong. That's true. Well, I guess I'll let my Pokemon go then. Oh yeah, the world has changed here. Time to free your Pokemon will be when I prevent the universe reaches Surgery Dragon type Pokemon. Surpass the champion, become the hero. Well then, I'll head to the next station. Separate Pokemon people, and Black and White will be clearly distinct. Only then will Pokemon become perfect beings. And then why? Why does this Pokemon seem so sad to leave me? Is it because that trainer that my heart wavers now? Were the words of the Pokemon I give that time really true? Does that mean Theo is an ideal trainer? The cries of the suffering Pokemon flee in that room. The borderline between Pokemon and humans. I exist on that line. I live in the margins between everyone, so I'll save them. I'll change the world. And to that end, I must fight to the finish of the video. Sorry, I saw you. I just started talking for some reason. Yeah, that is the memory link feature. So yeah, if you played Black and White, then what happened? Then what you can do is that you can go into Unova link and then access memory link, and then yeah, you can link your Black and White save file to Black 2 and White 2 and get some special scenes like that. It also does some other things, which yeah, I'll be sure to show later. But anyway, I mean, there's actually not too bad of a time to end off. So yeah, we did our first battle with Oshawott. Oshawott's not doing too bad with that lonely nature. We got the Pokedex. We actually haven't seen Oshawott's Pokedex entry, I think, so I can show that to end off as well. The Scout Shop on its stomach is just use a bag. It can be used to break open hard berries as well. So there we go. Another important thing we need to do is try to see every Pokemon in the region, but we might need a little bit of help to do that, but anyway. And the other options don't really matter too much at the moment, so we're not going to worry too much, but anyway. So we got our first Pokemon, we got the Pokedex, just like Mom wanted us to. We had our first battle, and we learned about some of the interesting things that make our playthrough a bit more unique than a regular playthrough, so yeah. So like I said, yeah, let's end this part now. Next time, we got our Pokeballs. Let's start catching some Pokemon, shall we? So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys again for that.